High above the canyons of Malibu, tucked behind stone walls and whispering oak trees, lies a ranch where time seems to stand still. No red carpets, no paparazzi. Just the soft clatter of hooves, the scent of worn leather, and the unmistakable presence of Sam Elliott. But why would a Hollywood icon trade the spotlight for solitude? Today, we step inside his Malibu sanctuary to uncover a life built not on fame, but on freedom. Before the slow drawl, before the mustache became iconic, and long before he stood beside Bradley Cooper in A Star is Born, Sam Elliott was just a lanky teenager in Portland, Oregon, trying to find his voice. Born on August 9, 1944 in Sacramento, California, Samuel Pack Elliott came into the world with a name that sounded like it was made for a Western. But his beginnings were far from glamorous. His father, Henry, worked with the U.S. Department of the Interior as a predator control specialist, tracking down dangerous animals in the wild. His mother, Glynn, was a state champion diver turned high school PE teacher. Both were born in Texas, and both raised Sam with discipline, hard work, and respect for the land. When Sam was 13, the family relocated to the northeastern outskirts of Portland. And it was there, far from Hollywood, where the roots of the cowboy we'd come to know began to take hold. He graduated from David Douglas High School in 1962. College came next, first at the University of Oregon, where he studied English and psychology. But something didn't quite fit. His heart wasn't in the classroom, it was on the stage. After dropping out, he enrolled in Clark College across the river in Vancouver, Washington. There he found himself playing Big Jewel in a college production of Guys and Dolls. One local paper went so far as to declare, "This young man should be a professional actor." Still, life had other plans. Sam returned to the University of Oregon briefly, but everything changed when his father suddenly passed away from a heart attack. It was a loss that would shape him for life. He dropped out again, lost but determined, and made a choice that would defy everything his father once told him. He packed up and moved to Los Angeles. His father had warned him, "You've got a snowball's chance in hell of making it in Hollywood." And maybe he did. But what Sam Elliott lacked in connections, he made up for with grit. By day, he worked construction. By night, he studied acting. And somewhere in between, he served in the California Air National Guard, joining the famed Hollywood Guard based out of Van Nuys. He wasn't chasing fame, he was chasing purpose. And then, in 1969, it happened. He landed his first television role, Dan Kenyon in Judd for the Defense. That same year, he popped up in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, not as a star, but as a card player silently watching Robert Redford's Sundance Kid show off his shooting skills. Blink, and you'd miss him. But for Sam, it was a sign. He was in the room now. More roles followed. Mission, Impossible Lancer, and a slew of guest appearances where he played, what else? Rugged cowboys with a sense of quiet dignity. And then came Lifeguard, 1976. A low-budget film about a man confronting middle age and lost dreams, it became his breakout. Elliott wasn't playing a cowboy. He was a lifeguard in Southern California looking for purpose. The irony? That was Sam himself, wading through life, unsure where it was going, but determined to swim anyway. Critics didn't rave. Variety called his character passive. But audiences saw something more. Authenticity. And that became Sam Elliott's signature. Whether it was the Sacketts with Tom Selleck or the Shadow Riders, he was the man who didn't need to say much to command attention. In the 1980s and 90s, his presence deepened. Mask, 1985 with Cher. Prancer, 1989. Then came the role of Wade Garrett in Roadhouse. Mentor, philosopher, bouncer. Elliott brought depth to a movie that could have been camp. He grounded it, just like he did with his real life. He met actress Katharine Ross on the set of The Legacy in 1978, but their paths didn't truly converge until Murder in Texas in 1981. By 1984, they were married, and stayed that way. In a town of fleeting romances, Sam and Katharine became one of Hollywood's quietest, strongest couples. But Sam's career was far from done. The 90s saw him as General John Buford in Gettysburg and Virgil Earp in Tombstone. And then, in 1998, he played the stranger, the narrator in The Big Lebowski, a mysterious figure who watches the world with a wry smile and philosophical wisdom. It was Sam as a myth, and somehow it fit perfectly. Then came Hulk, Ghost Rider, and a string of voiceovers that turned his low, gravel-lined baritone into legend. In 2015, Netflix's The Ranch introduced him to a new generation. In 2017, he gave a haunting, intimate performance in The Hero, a film that mirrored his own life. Aging cowboy, quiet regrets, and one last shot at truth. But perhaps no moment was more poetic than 2018's A Star is Born. Playing Bobby, the older brother of Bradley Cooper's character, Sam was raw, conflicted, and unforgettable. The role earned him his first ever Oscar nomination. And his response? I guess the first thing I thought was, "It's about damn time." And it was. From a teenager in Portland to the voice of American masculinity, Sam Elliott didn't just build a career, he built a persona, a living symbol of the American West, stoic, solid, enduring. But what does a cowboy do when the cameras stop rolling? He finds a place where the noise ends, and the soul can breathe. And for Sam Elliott, that place begins down a stone-lined road deep in the hills of Malibu, Ranch in Malibu. If Malibu is a playground for Hollywood's elite, then Sam Elliott's ranch is the exception that rewrites the rules. It's not perched above the ocean in neon whites and glass walls like a reality star's mansion. It's deeper, quieter, wilder. Tucked away along Yerba Buena Road on 80 acres of rugged canyon land, sits a property that feels more like a frontier outpost than a celebrity hideaway. This is not where you come to be seen. This is where you come to disappear. And that's exactly what Sam Elliott wanted. The first thing you notice is the road. A stone-lined driveway stretches nearly 1,100 feet, flanked by native boulders that have been unearthed and reimagined. Reminders that this land was never meant to be tamed, only respected. As you climb higher into the hills, Malibu begins to vanish behind you. The ocean is out there somewhere, but here, the only horizon is the canyon's quiet breath and the soft silhouettes of oaks swaying in the wind. Then, the house comes into view. Rugged and reverent, the 5,682 square foot residence is more sanctuary than structure. With cathedral ceilings soaring 35 feet, the home opens up like a Western chapel. Light floods through massive picture windows, casting golden reflections across travertine floors. Every inch feels intentional, like a memory carved in wood and stone. You don't enter this house. You arrive like a pilgrim. At its heart is a chef's kitchen that blends rustic charm with modern precision. Thermador appliances hum with quiet strength. Granite countertops stretch long like butcher blocks of old. The layout flows openly into the living room, where a double-sided stone fireplace anchors the space like a mountain hearth. Sam didn't want opulence. He wanted authenticity. You feel it in the custom woodwork, in the iron finishes, in the way silence moves comfortably here. And then, there's the game room. Not just a den, but a vast space meant for friends, laughter, and long nights. Walk out from here, and you'll find yourself in the backyard, where every tree has grown wild and willfully, yet is trimmed with care. The garden is not a showcase, but a living, breathing part of the land. A place where Sam and Katharine have likely sipped coffee in the early morning, watching hawks glide overhead. On the lower floor, 2 guest suites wait, each with walk-in closets and private baths. But upstairs is where the soul of the house lives. You can reach it via the grand staircase or the glass elevator, open to the sky above. The primary suite is a retreat within a retreat. A balcony extends out like the bow of a ship, gazing across preserved parklands and open skies. Inside, a spa-inspired bathroom with double vanities and a soaking tub offers moments of reflection, and a rare kind of luxury, privacy. But for a man like Elliott, the treasures aren't inside the walls. They're out in the open. A 3,000-square-foot detached garage and workshop sits nearby, more industrial barn than parking lot. Here's where he likely keeps his motorcycles, classic trucks, and projects in progress. The space is fitted with a 10,000-pound rotating lift, a carpenter's dream woodshop, high-voltage power, and storage for any man with a love for hands-on living. Outside, a separate pavilion offers shaded seating, a fire pit, and even a private shooting range. It's not about danger, it's about skill, control, and a respect for tradition. Just like everything Sam does, the orchard thrives nearby, mature fruit trees bearing witness to the passage of seasons. And beyond them, miles of private trails, viewpoints cut into the hills, rock seating areas where one might sit alone or with a lifelong partner and say nothing for hours, because nothing needs to be said. Even the utilities are quietly brilliant. Underground wiring, advanced irrigation, drainage systems, 3 private wells, and 8 water storage tanks. It's as if the ranch were designed to be fully self-sustaining, like its owner, Painting. There's also a 40-acre adjacent lot, untouched, undeveloped, yet fully equipped with utilities and ready for the future. Maybe it's for Cleo, his daughter. Maybe it's just a field left open for dreams yet to arrive. This ranch isn't just real estate, it's philosophy, made visible. It's not the biggest, the flashiest, or the most expensive, though its estimated value hovers between $5.5 to $6 million. But it is one of the rarest kinds of homes, a place that reflects the soul of the man who built a career out of saying little and meaning everything. But the Malibu Hills are just one side of Sam Elliott's quiet world. To truly understand where he finds peace, we need to ride north, to Oregon. Mansion in Oregon. If Malibu is where Sam Elliott lives like a cowboy poet in exile, then Oregon is where the poetry was written in the first place. Long before the red carpets and award nominations, before the cowboy hats became a trademark, Sam walked these woods barefoot as a boy. He inhaled the damp, pine-scented air of the Pacific Northwest and watched the mist curl through the valleys like a memory refusing to let go. And that's what this place is. Memory made permanent. In Harrisburg, tucked inside the peaceful Willamette Valley, lies his second home, a $3 million estate wrapped in over 3 acres of forest, sky, and stillness. It's not grand in the Hollywood sense, but it's sacred in the Elliott sense. From the moment you arrive, the world softens. The mountains in the distance loom like guardians. A simple wooden fence traces the property, enclosing a sanctuary where the wind rustles through blueberry bushes and where silence isn't empty. It's complete. The house itself unfolds gently. 2,800 square feet of intimate, unpretentious design. The kind of place where everything has a use, and every corner holds a story. Step into the kitchen, and you're greeted by granite countertops worn just enough to feel lived in. Stainless steel appliances gleam under warm lighting. Wooden floors creak in just the right spots. This isn't a designer's showcase, it's a working home. A place where meals are prepared with hands that know labor. The open living room breathes with heat from a pellet stove and the comforting aroma of wood smoke. A new wood-burning stove rests in the corner like an old friend come home. Above, ductless heating and cooling systems keep the temperature steady, but never sterile. Sam doesn't like sterile. He likes real. From the main living area, doors lead to a wraparound deck where time slows. Mornings here must begin with coffee and a guitar, the valley below still sleepy, the air brisk. It's not hard to imagine Sam standing there, hat on, arms crossed, simply listening to the birds, the breeze, and the quiet part of himself that can only be heard in places like this. Upstairs, 2 guest rooms share a beautifully renovated bath, tiled shower, double sinks, soaking tub. One can easily picture Elliott hosting old friends here, fellow actors or cowboys from another era, swapping stories long into the night. But it's the bonus room above the garage that hints at something more. It could be a 4th bedroom, or a writing studio, or maybe even a secret getaway when the world just gets too loud. And while the interior whispers comfort, it's outside where the soul of this place truly lives. The gardens, the 7 blueberry bushes tucked along the edge, the smell of cut grass, the sense that nothing here is rushed. Every inch of the property invites you to stay a little longer, breathe a little deeper, and remember what really matters. And unlike Malibu, where the glamour of film history lingers in the walls, this home holds something far more intimate: roots. This is also where Sam spends quiet time reflecting on family. After the passing of his beloved mother in 2011, Elliott took over ownership of his childhood home in Northeast Portland. He didn't flip it. He didn't sell it. He kept it. Because that's what Sam does. He holds on to the places and people that shaped him. And even today, when the cameras are off and the scripts are silent, Sam still drives north. He still tends the land. He still wears the same denim jackets and leather boots. Not because they're stylish, but because they last. It's in Oregon, where he can just be the man before the myth. But every myth, no matter how grounded, carries weight. And for Sam Elliott, it's time to lift the curtain on just how much his quiet legend is worth. How do you measure wealth in a man like Sam Elliott? Is it in the number of films he's made? The accolades on his mantle? Or the hundreds of millions his movies have grossed? Maybe. But with Sam, the answer feels more grounded, more like earth beneath boots than numbers in a vault. Still, if we are to speak plainly, then here it is. Sam Elliott's estimated net worth stands at $20 million. Not extravagant by Hollywood standards, but exactly enough to live the kind of life he's always wanted. His wealth is a driveway that winds through stone walls, a night sky unbothered by city lights, a life measured in peace, not possessions. And maybe that's the secret. Maybe the richest man in Hollywood is the one who doesn't need to be seen. But even with quiet fortune, Sam Elliott has never turned his back on those in need. In fact, some of his most powerful roles have played out far from the screen, in real life, through acts of compassion. Philanthropy. For a man of few words, Sam Elliott has spent a lifetime letting his actions do the talking. And nowhere is that more evident than in the quiet, unwavering way he gives back. It doesn't start with a press release. It doesn't end in a viral campaign. It begins with a belief that those who've walked through fire deserve to be seen, remembered, and helped. Sam Elliott has long been a staunch supporter of the military and veteran communities. Maybe it's because he once wore a uniform himself, serving in the 146th Airlift Wing of the California Air National Guard. Or maybe it's because the values he grew up with, duty, honor, humility, never really left him. Either way, when Sam speaks on behalf of those who served, it's not performance, it's personal. One of the most stirring examples came at the National Memorial Day concert in Washington, D.C., an annual tradition where America pauses to remember its fallen heroes. Sam didn't just read a script that night. He told the real-life story of Sergeant Ray Lambert, a D-Day medic who saved dozens of lives under heavy fire. His voice, trembling but firm, carried the weight of generations. For a moment, Hollywood vanished. All that remained was a man honoring another. But Elliott didn't stop at remembrance. He became a champion for healing. Through his partnership with the Gary Sinus Foundation, Sam has lent his name, time, and voice to a cause he deeply believes in: supporting wounded veterans, first responders, and their families. From smart homes for amputees to emergency relief, the Foundation's work echoes Elliott's own ethic. Do what needs to be done without applause. In 2023, Sam took that commitment a step further. At the age of nearly 79, he appeared at Ironman Tulsa, not as a participant, but as a rallying figure for the SAFE Project, a national nonprofit tackling substance use and mental health challenges. His involvement helped raise vital funds, and more importantly, awareness in a space often plagued by stigma and silence. Why SAFE? Because, as Sam has said in rare interviews, too many people he's loved, friends, fellow veterans, even members of the entertainment world, have battled demons in isolation. And because the cowboy way isn't about walking alone, it's about riding alongside someone, even when the trail gets rough. He's also never forgotten where his journey began. When Clark College, the small Washington school where he first discovered acting, launched a fundraising campaign, Sam stepped in. Not with a big check or a splashy headline, but with his presence, helping the campaign exceed its goals, inspiring a new generation of students who might, like him, feel lost before they find their way. What's striking about all this isn't the scale, it's the consistency. Sam Elliott doesn't just give when the cameras are rolling, he gives when no one's looking. Because giving, for him, isn't about image, it's about integrity. In a world that often equates generosity with grandeur, Sam reminds us that true compassion is measured in small, steadfast moments. A tribute read under soft lights, a visit to a wounded vet, a quiet word that says, "I see you." And maybe in the end, that's what makes Sam Elliott not just a Western hero, but a human one. But even cowboys need home fires. And for Sam, nothing grounds him more than the life he's built behind the scenes, with the woman he loves, the daughter they raised, and the rituals that give each day its quiet rhythm. Personal life. For all the towering roles and timeless grit, the most enduring story Sam Elliott ever told may be the quietest one. The story of his life with Katharine Ross. It's not a Hollywood romance filled with tabloid flashes or scandalous headlines. It's something rarer, a love that simply endured. They first crossed paths on the set of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid in 1969. She had a leading role. He had a blink and you'll miss it appearance. He admired her from afar, too shy to say a word. It wasn't until years later, on the set of The Legacy in 1978 and then Murder in Texas in 1981, that destiny stepped in. And this time, Sam spoke. In 1984, they married. For Katharine, it was her 5th marriage. For Sam, it was his first and only. In nearly 4 decades since, they've been as steady as the mountains surrounding their Oregon home. They raised one daughter, Cleo Rose Elliott, born in 1984. A singer and musician in her own right, Cleo has followed a different path, one filled with chords and lyrics instead of scripts and cameras. She lives close by in Malibu, and it's said that her voice has the same haunting quality as her father's, but softer, more ethereal, like a breeze through canyon leaves. Together, this family has chosen a different rhythm. No paparazzi-lined driveways. No $100,000 a table galas. Just coffee on the porch, horses in the distance, music floating from a back room. And then there's Oregon, the escape within the escape. When the seasons shift and the leaves begin to fall, Sam often returns to Harrisburg. It's there he splits wood, fixes fence posts, and disappears into small-town anonymity. Locals know him, of course, but they don't bother him. They nod, they wave. He waves back. He's not Sam Elliott, the actor there. He's just Sam. You'll find no wild spending sprees in his story, no jets waiting on tarmacs. The wealth, the awards, the accolades, they sit quietly in the background of a life that values stillness over spectacle. And perhaps most beautiful of all, through every role, every red carpet, every winding dirt path, Katharine Ross has been there, right beside him. In interviews, he credits her not just as his partner, but as the anchor that keeps him steady when storms come. Their love isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. It's worn in like a favorite pair of boots, tested like a good saddle, and trusted deeply, completely. And so, when Sam Elliott walks out to the edge of his ranch and looks over the land he calls home, he doesn't see power or property or prestige. He sees peace. He sees a life lived on his terms, with love at the center, land underfoot, and the kind of silence most people spend a lifetime chasing. If this story moved you, if you too believe that silence can be strength and a ranch can hold a man's soul, then don't ride off just yet. Hit like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who still believes in authenticity. Because out here, where the sky is wide and the words are few, Sam Elliott's legacy rides on.